Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles. I am in fact in Los Angeles. Our amazing filmmaker, Scott, who is here, is in Colorado, and we're able to do this in a virtual experience. So welcome, Scott. Lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
And I'm so delighted to have Scott with us because he did a fantastic documentary called Autism Ability. So for those that haven't seen it, let's take a look at a clip.
My name is Scott Klumb. I am a filmmaker, a skier, and a friend. At the age of 23, I was diagnosed as autistic. I try to focus less on it being a disability and more on the opportunities and strengths that have shown through my autism.
Scott, I'm delighted because, you know, even though we can't see each other and be each other in person, we get the chance to do this virtually in different states, and I'm happy to welcome you. You know how much I loved your film and so proud that you made it. But for those that haven't seen it, can you tell us the brief synopsis of your documentary?
So it started out when I got the news that the assignment for the Disability Film Challenge was a documentary. I had to figure out, what am I going to do with this? Because obviously I was going to include autism, but I didn't have a big crew of people to work with like some other people did. And so I started figuring out, how can I show myself behind the scenes, showing some of my creativity with filming, and show people kind of what the actual shot looks like, and then what it looks like when I was filming it behind the scenes. And then I came up with the idea of, well, I mean, I could go on for a long time about all the difficulties I have with autism and the struggles, but there's also been some good that's come out of autism with me. And so I decided I want to focus on the positives here and not be I don't want to be a victim to my disability. I don't want it to define me in a negative way. So I decided, let's focus on the positives and really show what can help people with autism. And so I got to showcase my filming creativity, as well as a big part of the documentary was showing how I can hyper focus on video editing for hours on end. I edited my documentary for 24 hours in 2 days. And
Wow.
Yeah, having to cram.
Scott.
Yeah.
That's honestly, it's amazing. And you're such a good editor. You know, editing, especially in documentaries, editing is so important. You know, it's a really important thing because how you edit the film determines how we feel about the film, you know, in such a powerful way. And you took on so many roles, Scott. That's what I was like, you're in it and you're behind the scenes. Tell us all the different roles you took on to make this film. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, so my assistant and I wrote the story, and then I filmed it, I edited it, I directed it, I was in it. Basically, I did everything.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so, and one thing I just really wanted to do is, because with documentaries, a lot of documentaries I watch have the same kind of feel with like showing the day in the life of someone and same kind of filming and editing. And I really wanted to showcase my ability to have a very artistic vision and showcase how I edit to the music so meticulously, but have everything flow with the story. And so I wanted to find ways to incorporate time lapses. And
yeah,
for me, knowing that there were going to be so many films in this, and I didn't realize there were going to be 87 films, but I wanted to make my film stand out from the bunch with being more its own kind of original look than just the typical documentary format.
And you really did that. And let's not forget, you were in the finalists of the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge. And that's, you know, as a finalist, you know, you were part of our family too, and now alumni at New Filmmakers Los Angeles. And listen, the key, it's all in the title that really got me excited, because I'm very lucky to have many, friends who have autism, and I'm so lucky to have people. And the wonderful thing, as you mentioned, is in your title is everybody has different abilities, and it's amazing. Was that something also, it was in your title, and I think you made a very important decision to call it that, because, I've discovered so many amazing people that have great abilities. Did you kind of want your audience to also understand that as well, that, many, many different people that have autism have fantastic abilities?
Right. I definitely did, because a lot of autistic people I know are some of the most brilliant minds you'll ever meet. And most people with autism, or most people think of autism with like being science geniuses, computer science geniuses, or even like mathematics and everything. There's not, but there's also a bunch of creative people out there. And yeah, I mean,
like yourself, you are so creative. One of the things I even enjoyed, the way that you just shot the coffee beans, like that was, even the way that you did that, was just beautiful to me. And I thought your cinematography was really good, as well as your editing and directing and being in it. I was like, did he really do all this, Scott? Yeah. But what's your kind of favorite part of making a film? What do you enjoy the most?
It's a mix of filming and editing, but I especially love the editing piece. I know for a lot of people, they can find editing very tedious, but for me, I just love seeing the final piece come together and really putting my vision to work. And there's just something very meditative for me, just piecing these things together and making it perfect, because I don't know, it's just, years ago I went to film school back in 2007, or up until 2007, for post-production. And I mean, I had to drop out later because of mental health stuff, but I remember my very first project, my freshman year of film school, the teacher, like every other student's project was edited the same way. So I'm just like, oh, this isn't good. Like mine's so different. And then the teacher paused my project in the middle. I'm just like, oh crap, this can't be good. And then the teacher said, class, take note. This project right here is better than any of our grad students.
Oh.
And from that day forward, in my freshman year, I became the person that everyone wanted on their project.
Oh my God, I love that. I just got goosebumps. That was chills. That's wonderful. I love that. I love that, because there's nothing greater than being able to someone to recognize your talent, and it's great. I think the wonderful thing, because you are in it, I was like, that again, when you're making a documentary, you kind of want to have people in there that you get to know and you get to understand. And I think the world that got to see you in the film, they fell in love with you and thought how wonderful you are. And then, discover, what it's like for you on a day-to-day basis. And then we also got to meet Martha as well, who's also so wonderful. Now, Martha's someone very close to you. How was that, asking someone to be in your film as themselves? Was that a difficult thing?
It's a little difficult. It's just because I have to convince the person who's never been an actor or anything that you just need to trust me. Like you can just be yourself and I'll make you look good on camera. And so there's always some nerves around being on camera. And then oftentimes, like, I'll tell someone, like, I just want you to spill these coffee beans, or I want you to throw the popcorn. And they're just like, why do you want me to do that? And then they see my final shot and they're just like, wow, that's amazing. And so it's just awesome to get a friend to just like trust my vision. And I have to do that a lot of the time, because they may be like, why am I doing this stupid thing? And then when they finally see the finished product, they're just like, wow, you really had a vision for this that I had no idea.
Oh, I love that. And I think you mentioned that really important word that is so vital, particularly in documentary filmmaking, which is the word trust. And I feel like you can't underestimate trust, particularly, in documentaries and particularly in making a film that, obviously involves someone that's, close to you, or they may not be acting necessarily before. And so I think that is great. What I would say is having made the film and making it for for Easter Seals and then having it with us, what's the experience been like for you with the audience in seeing your film? How has that reaction been for you so far?
The reaction's been amazing because, I mean, just seeing all the recognition I've gotten for winning Best Editor and everything has felt amazing. The amount of networking possibilities have been huge. And I think a week I'll get to have a conversation with the vice president of HBO's post-production. And so that's going to be a huge networking possibility. And
that's amazing.
And Nick Novicki and I have created a relationship where he wants to help push me out there as an editor and work together. And yeah, I mean,
amazing.
One of the greatest feelings for me, outside of all just my friends and people in the contest, like recognizing my work, one of the greatest feelings for me has been seeing my dad finally recognize that, like, I can make a future for myself with filmmaking and public speaking, because it's like I'm very different from the rest of my family, where my brother's a dentist and my dad was a dentist. So I have no clue where I got my creativity in my family. But finally, like, when I won Best Editor, and I guess my dad just jumped out of his seat and cheered for me. And he's finally recognizing how big of a deal it is to win these things. And I mean, I also finished another documentary recently that was also about autism, and it's been in 6 other film festivals. So it's feeling really good to see the recognition of my family. And yeah.
Well, Scott, you deserve it. I'm gonna forever be your cheerleader and supporting you, and I'm so glad that more and more people are getting to recognize you and your talents and everything that you have to offer. It was very interesting when you're at the film festival. I noticed people, I could feel people were just about to just pounce on you because they want you to edit their films. And so, I think you're going to be in a situation soon where you're going to have so much work. I'm going to have work for the next 10, 20 years. I don't think you'll run out. But I'm so glad, because all these opportunities and obviously winning Best Editor, which is a huge deal, it really is. You can't underestimate that. It's a massive deal, and it's led you to go and meet, with the vice president of post-production at HBO. And we wish you the best of luck. And they're a fantastic sponsor of New Filmmakers, and they have amazing shows. So I'm so delighted that that's coming your way. At the moment, what is next? What is next for you, Scott? What are you working on at the moment?
Right now, I'm working on getting my documentary Autism One Man's Journey out there. It's got a similar feel to Autism Ability, except it's like a 36-minute long documentary. And yeah, before the pandemic, I had my world premiere, and then I was in a film festival in Hollywood, and then everything shut down. And so it's been in a couple virtual premieres, and honestly, after how well the film festival went and the Q&A went with you guys a month ago or so, I decided I'd submit my film Autism One Man's Journey to you guys. So I sent that in, and
great.
Yeah, so see where that goes. But
yeah. That's exciting. Well, I mean, I just keep making more films for us, Scott, because we need them. So I'm glad that you submitted that to us as well. One of the other things that I'm also excited for you in your future is, as you said, is public speaking. I think I love listening to you. I love the knowledge that you share, and I also love the inspiration that you inspire to filmmakers and people that are also, autistic and maybe trying to find their talents or find their areas of support in their careers and their world. And I think that's also wonderful. And I'm so glad that you're just a representative as a filmmaker to inspire us all. And I'm so curious because for you personally, is there anything advice that you can maybe share to anybody else out there that you kind of go through in your journey that keeps you motivated? Maybe something you've heard from a mentor, or maybe something that you go by yourself.
One of my mentors is Temple Grandin, and I had the honor of meeting her in person and getting to interview her for my other documentary. And one of the things she just told me is like, yes, I'm autistic, but don't let that be your defining thing. She said, you're a filmmaker first and you're autistic second, or you're a filmmaker first and you have your autism second. And so I try to focus on my creativity and the career I can make with it. And again, yeah, I have my struggles and everything, but that's not my defining factor. And yeah, since then, Temple Grandin and I connect with each other every like 4 to 8 weeks just to check in, and it's been a great relationship since then. So she's definitely one of my mentors.
Oh, I'm happy that what a great mentor you've got there as well, and what's so great, I think you're forever going to have great mentors, and then you're a mentor yourself as well as your career is vastly growing. Scott, I'm so glad that you brought your film to us. I'm so glad we got to know you and appreciate you. I'm sending you all the best energy for all the meetings and networking that's coming your way, because you are a fantastic editor, and I'm so glad that you won, and it's the first of many. So get used to all the glory, get used to all the awards, mister. But no, thank you, Scott. Thank you for Autism Ability, and looking forward to seeing your next film. And we very much appreciate you. Welcome to the New Filmmakers family. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.